Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is titled, People Who Compare Their Problems to Yours. You know, there's really only so many ways to tell someone, you don't really know me. It's such a frustrating feeling. We've all been there, right? You're talking to someone who thinks they understand your life, your struggles, and your experiences, but the truth is they only see the surface. It's like they're looking through a foggy window, and they have no idea what's really going on inside. And often, the people we want to say this to wouldn't even believe it if we did. They're convinced they know you based on the snippets they see, but they're missing the bigger picture completely. A lot of us feel like we're walking on eggshells in these conversations, and it can be exhausting. We're trying to navigate this delicate dance where we're careful not to offend or upset anyone. It's almost as if we're playing a role, putting on a mask just to get through the day. We can't be completely honest or vulnerable because we know that the other person might not be able to handle it. It feels like everyone's defenses are on high alert, and that makes it hard to connect on a deeper level. When you're dealing with selfish people, it becomes even more challenging to let your guard down. These individuals are so wrapped up in their own worlds that they can't see beyond their own noses. They'll come to you, lay out their problems, and expect you to be their emotional support without ever considering what you might be going through. They unload their issues on you like they're dumping a heavy backpack, and then they just walk away, feeling lighter while you're left holding the weight of your own struggles. Have you ever had a conversation like that? You're trying to share something that's been bothering you, something that's heavy on your heart, and they just cut you off or redirect the conversation back to themselves? It's like you're invisible in that moment. They get their stuff off their chest, and you're left feeling emotionally drained. Like you've just run a marathon but didn't even get a medal at the end. And here's the kicker. They often don't even consider your struggles because they assume you have it better than they do. These people can be some of the nastiest pieces of work. They don't realize that everyone has their battles, often hidden beneath the surface. It's like they have this preconceived notion that you must be living a perfect life because you don't have the same issues they do. They're so caught up in their own drama that they can't take a moment to acknowledge yours. Sometimes it feels like they're using some kind of emotional measuring cup, comparing their problems to yours. Well, I have this much stress in my life, and you have that, they think. They don't understand that pain is subjective. What hurts one person may not affect another in the same way. It's frustrating when they assume that just because you're not dealing with their specific problem, you must not be dealing with any problems at all. People who have never been in your shoes are often the worst at this. They think that because you don't share their exact struggles, you can't possibly understand what it means to face hardship. It's infuriating because they believe their problems take priority over yours. They can't empathize with what you're dealing with, and it's as if they're living in their own bubble, completely unaware of the world around them. I call these folks emotionally competitive. They seem to thrive on comparing their struggles to yours, always trying to one-up each other in the misery department. You know the type. Someone lays out their issues, and you can almost feel the air shift as they wait for you to respond with your own struggles. It's this unspoken competition where they want to prove that they have it worse than you do. But here's the thing. They feel that way because I'm not throwing my problems in their face like confetti. I choose not to wear my struggles on my sleeve, and just because I'm not constantly complaining doesn't mean I haven't faced tough times. When you let your past struggles make you stronger, it can be incredibly isolating, especially when you encounter people who are still stuck in their own mire. It's like they're stuck in quicksand, and they can't find a way out. They're so consumed by their own issues that they can't even begin to fathom what you're going through. This disconnect can create a huge emotional gap, and they often don't even recognize it. It's as if they've lost the ability to feel empathy for anyone else. Honestly, I'm not going to waste my time listening to someone who doesn't care about how I feel. Those types are like emotional vampires. draining your energy without giving anything back. It's frustrating to pour your heart out and get nothing in return, feeling like you're just there to serve as their therapist, without any of the benefits of mutual support. You know, it's pretty cold when someone thinks you're made of stone just because you don't have the same issue they do. Who's really the cold-hearted one here? When you're competitive about emotions and don't bother to understand what someone else is feeling, you're missing out on the chance to connect on a human level. It's sad because life is hard for everyone in different ways, and we all deserve understanding and compassion. People will come to you thinking, "You don't know what it's like for me," without realizing that you might have your own battles. They think, "You have more money than I do," or "You're not single like me." And that leads them to believe you're just breezing through life. They think if you're not facing their exact problem, then you're not facing anything at all. It's a toxic way to think, and it can make you feel incredibly alone in your struggles. I remember a time when a friend of mine was going through a tough breakup. She was devastated and needed someone to talk to. But every time she opened up about her feelings, another friend would jump in and start talking about their own issues, completely disregarding what she was going through. It became a competition of sorts, and instead of offering support, it felt more like a contest of who had it worse. My friend ended up feeling even more isolated because no one was really listening. It was painful to watch. So here's the deal. Don't waste your time on these people. They will never see you as a human being, with your own set of challenges and emotions. They won't recognize your struggles, and being around them is draining. You deserve better than that. If you find yourself in conversations with someone who doesn't take a moment to see you for who you are, it's okay to walk away. Fast. Protect your energy and don't let anyone diminish your feelings just because they don't understand your journey. Surround yourself with people who appreciate you for who you are, who listen and support you without the need to turn everything into a competition. In the end, we all have our battles to fight, and we all deserve a little compassion. Life is tough enough without having to deal with people who can't recognize that we're all human. So take care of yourself, and remember to seek out those genuine connections where both parties feel heard and valued. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Moore's October Rants. I hope you can take something away from this discussion and recognize the importance of surrounding yourself with people who truly appreciate you. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.